My name's Tom Bradley Jr. I'm currently 25 years old, but I'm an aspiring singer-songwriter. Okay, my name's Tom Bradley Jr. I'm 25. Well, my name's Tom. I'll stop.
Okay.
I get nervous, that's why.
So how do you want to start it?
Just like this.
We're starting it now.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, just now. Let's just go.
Yeah, fuck it, why not?
So that what's the first image you're going to see of the interview is just this?
Yeah.
You in your room.
Yeah.
Well, do me a favour then, and just obviously to hide the fact that we're recording this on your computer behind you.
Start like this. Doesn't need a fucking... Hang on, shall we do it again? We'll do it again.
No, we'll start now. It's fine.
We'll start now?
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to start now?
We'll start it.
Fuck it, we're starting. Fuck it, that's it.
I sat up and looked at the sky, watching the world pass me by. And I dream of my life without you. Thinking if we just had this room for two. Take me back to when we were alive, as we sat outside and left the world behind. I sat watching the world pass me by, as I stared into your loving eyes.
Now our guest today is my main man, fucking Tom Bradley Jr.
You're listening to The Art Show on 106.6 FM Wickham Sound. I'm your host, Dane Cobain. I'm here in conversation with Tom Bradley Jr.
Take me back to where we were alone. Well, the EP is called Colourblind. And the EP is called Colourblind because I feel it's the lead single which sums up exactly what love can do. As we sat outside and left the world behind, I sat watching the world pass me by. As I was writing Colourblind, I also discovered that there's a type of love called colourblind, the idea of supporting interracial relationships. So I just wanted this to be the standout because I wanted this to have a strong message. It's acoustic, but it's not. It's at the same time. It's a studio song at the same time. Yeah. There's a lot more going on. It's something that you can tap your foot to and click your fingers to.
Cool.
My clicking isn't great. Yours are probably better than mine though, for God's sake. I don't know what I'm doing.
I've got strong claps.
He could probably click. Why don't we get him on the track? I just decided that it didn't need to be too overcomplicated because simplicity is key. We kept that for the verse and the chorus, that same groove. And I knew I wanted a guitar solo because I love guitar solos. I wanted something that would really hold your attention and be like, ugh, like that. I'm over here, like it's calling out to you. Because I love, my favourite song of all time is Layla, and that has the same sort of guitar solo where it's just calling your name out. I threw one in. I don't know why.
Try again.
Oh, come on!
You started laughing.
No! Oh, of course I did.
He's an idiot.
Birds singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. Oh, your life. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. We're a bit of a musical family, so we've got my granddad, who, even though he was more in the publishing side of things, and the finance side of things, and music, played in bands. He played the guitar, could sing, he played the accordion. And that's who inspired me. I think I always had it from a younger age. I mean, I remember being sat in the car of it was a BMW X5. It was maroon coloured, and we'd sit and we'd listen to the Beach Boys songs. Because I couldn't sing very well, he'd fill in and do the good vibrations, and we'd literally sing along together. And I don't know if he remembers that as well as I do, but that's always lodged in my brain as my first sort of musical experience. It was like he was getting me into music and warming me up before I even realised that music was my thing. I didn't come from like a very wealthy background or anything. My mum was a single parent, and I didn't really have the exposure to go to concerts and that. I took the opportunity of being like, oh, I'm going to see the Strangers Club. Like I've got really excited about it because I haven't been to a proper gig before. Just seeing the boys and just seeing Harry play with his band, it was just amazing for me to watch. I was just like, I would look around and everyone's like being really casual and being like cool, too cool for school, and then it's just me like, yeah, headache. I just love the whole vibe atmosphere of live music, and that's the first little push I have from just watching people perform and wanting to get just the idea of being on stage just look cool.
I remember being in this house. There was 4 of us in this house, and this very guitar there was in my room, and I would always just pick up the guitar and play every now and then. And then Tom had quite a cool interest in it, and it was really nice actually, because, you know, as Tom's mentioned, he's not necessarily from like a large musical or musically aware background in terms of he doesn't really go to live shows and stuff. So to get an interest for music that quickly was just quite nice to see. And then you know, Tom had kind of mentioned that it was something that he would be interested in. Obviously, he knew about the kind of stuff I was doing with the Strangers Club, because I'd be going to rehearsals quite regularly, and he said he wanted to go and get a guitar. And I said, mate, that's brilliant, but obviously a lot of money. Even the cheaper ones are a lot of money, and like, just don't just do it because I'm doing it. Really, it's always good to try stuff, but you're always welcome to try my stuff if you like. But just make sure, you know, it's a big investment with students at the end of the day. Like, you have to be careful. Then he picked up a guitar, and obviously Tom will tell you, just as any beginner, just got 2 left feet on his hands.
He brought the guitar along, and we both got our guitars out, and I tried to teach him a few things. It wasn't very successful, but I thought, let's start with the simple stuff. I tried to teach him like a 12-bar blues to, you know, to see how that feels and what sort of the sequence feels like. Quite easy chords. And if I'm honest, I didn't think he was going to get very far at that stage. There wasn't a great deal of natural ability.
And then I remember when it came to the Christmas period, I'd gone home and Tom had uploaded a video to his Instagram, and I think it's actually the first post you put on your music Instagram, and it was like Seven Nation Army or something. And I just remember thinking at the time, like, oh wow, he's actually doing it when no one else is home, like he's investing his time into it.
Finish my drink, say shall we dance, hell yeah. You know I love you, did I ever tell you? You make it better like that. Don't think I'm fitting at this party. Everyone's got so much to say. Yeah, when I walked in I said I'm sorry. Yeah.
I don't know what the fucking words were. Oh.
This sort of came out of the blue, really. And then because he went off to Thailand, which I encouraged in a very positive way, because I just thought he should get some experience. Travel is an amazing experience, and you can't substitute it in any other way. And then the more I saw him online, basically, the more I saw him play, the more competent he became. And you got involved with some really nice guys there, you know, other musicians, and you started to share the experience of music and just enjoy what music can give you in life, and also particularly what playing an instrument can give you, and how you can feel part of something.
That's where they gave me, you know, I started singing and writing songs, and they got me up to do a few covers. If I saw you in heaven, would it be the same? If I saw you in heaven. They were like, oh, you should come perform at the town hall meeting. They're all really generous and didn't care how good I was or anything. And I got on the stage thinking they said it was about 10 people. There was like 100 seats. Sort of a little pea came out, and I was like, oh no, this is not what I signed up for. It went great when I look back on it, but when I came off the stage I felt like a rock star. It's brilliant. I felt that buzz that you get, that all the musicians talk about. It's empowering. It makes you feel something. That's all I've wanted to do ever since. I just want to make people to feel something from this EP. That was my first experience of it. I just said I want more of that. The Grandad was, to me, what he summed up is everything that music is all about. The essence and spirit of what music can bring, not only to yourself but to other people, because whenever he was doing music and whenever he was around, he would lighten people and lift them up, and he'd always be sat playing guitar somewhere, and being around that sort of person it meant the world to me.
This free newspaper used to come through on my desk called Accountancy Age. One day it came through, I looked at it, and it said recording studio wants management accountant. And I thought, oh well, God, I've got to have a go at this. Can't believe it. I had a go at it. When the information came through, it was George Martin's recording studio. I knew everything about George Martin. And I thought, oh, I'll apply for it, but I'm never going to get it. Never, ever will I get this. Anyway, cut the long story short, I end up interviewing, and I go into George's office, which is 3-piece suites, carpets, dimmer lighting, big speakers, Revox players, cocktail cabinets. And I thought, this is a different world. And then the girls there, maybe George's assistant and another guy, John Burgess, they were all record producers. I can't sometimes talk about it because people think you're name dropping, but in fact, it's just life. And what I had to do, the first time I went to the studio, I bumped into Cat Stevens, I bumped into Roxy Music, because that was just the life. That was their life. And I had to make it part of my life, but not hang on their coattails, not get off on their egos, but contribute, find a way of contributing. And my sort of attitude to business was, in a creative environment, was my way of contributing. And I think my way of communicating and giving someone creatively, someone they could trust. I was like the straight man. I found myself focusing on having to keep a lot of the songwriters we had, because some of them were not on, you had to renew a current relationship with them. Queen was one of those bands that I used to have to renew with. And I used to get on very well with Brian. Brian's so easy to get on with. And it didn't matter. And Mike Rutherford from Genesis, they're all just normal people. And then I'd always admired Sting. I sort of, I could meet him and talk to him through my days at A&M at the record company, but he didn't have a publisher, a proper publisher, for 10 years. Then I heard maybe Sting wants a publisher through a friend of mine. And to cut the long story short, after about 4 months of negotiating with his local lawyer, they think they can accept a deal. And then we went down to sign Sting at his house in Wiltshire, and he was just as humble. You know, we were going to have a sort of the celebration. He was showing me around in his big sort of manor house there, but we passed this little hut on the river, and he said,
Let's take a break. Let's take a solid 10 proper break, not a little one.
I'll be okay in a minute.
Okay. Whenever you're ready, don't feel.
He said that hut means a lot to me. I wrote Fields of Gold in that hut. So he said, this deal means a lot to me because I haven't had a proper publisher for 10 years. Can we sign it in that hut? I said, of course we can. And the food and bits and pieces and drink all came out of the manor house, and it all got carried by Mrs. B all across the grass and the lawn into the little hut, and we all crowded into the little hut. That's, you know, that's what songwriters and creative people are about. That's what matters in the end.
Eris, what are you doing?
I'm setting up a crazy ass microphone.
You're setting up a crazy ass microphone, guys.
So, handmade.
I think to show you, people can see it a little bit better. So the microphone, do you want to explain, Eris?
It's a speaker inside a drum, but the speaker has been wired up backwards. So instead of putting sound out, it takes sound in, because the speaker's been wired backwards so that it picks up sound.
Amazing. Well, getting experimental, there it is, guys. So Eris is the producer for the Colourblind EP, and he was instrumental in creating a sound that I was looking for. I was looking for this soft rock sound which varied from Blind Melon through to John Mayer through to Coldplay. It's this sort of soft rock, soft pop sound which you could chill out and relax to, but also could be used to create the different worlds that all these songs sat in. He's a god. He's a wizard. I call him a wizard. And you know why I call him a wizard? Because he's so fast on them keys. Just like so, literally incredibly fast. He comes under this wizardly power in that he could play the guitar and he could solo really well.
we kind of had these conversations with the guy that runs Blue Line Studios, which is kind of our stomping ground in Bournemouth, and it's where we've always practiced, and we love it there. And we had this conversation, and one of the guys that worked there also made music. He released a couple albums, and they production-wise sounded class. We were having this conversation. He said, "Mate, if you want to go with someone that's gonna appreciate your sound, who's going to want to work on it as much as you do, here's your man." And then we got in contact with Jordan or Eris, and we recorded a couple songs with him, which were like fully exceeded our expectations. Also, he kind of became he's part of the woodwork for the Strangers Club now, I feel, almost like a fifth member, because we worked so closely with him, and, you know, like the boys have gone to his house, and, you know, we've had multiple sessions with him where he'll often send us, you know, stuff way past our expectations or what we've even requested, just because he's had a listen back and he's thought that this sounds good, or, you know, it's like he really cares about his work. And then Tom kind of approached me and said, you know, he's looking at recording an EP, he's recording a few songs. I said, well, you know, look no further, here's the guy for you.
I'm getting used to this. My soul has claimed a new beginning, an unexpected bliss. Relaxed and at ease. I'm letting go now. I'll put aside what I'm afraid of. I'm getting used to this, an unexpected bliss. It's just another perfect day.
I started off as a performer. My dad was into music and he plays the guitar and he's been in bands since I was young. I guess back then, the band he was in, it was very influenced by punk, you know, 70s punk, classic punk. And that's kind of what my dad listened to a lot when I was growing up. But also because it was the 90s, there was also a lot of 90s Britpop bands like Blur and even Radiohead and stuff like that. And to be honest, that's very much the same influence that I have now, you know? It's anything from pretty raucous classic punk to Radiohead, really chilled, really atmospheric. Hence, you could kind of hear it all in my music that I make myself. It's pretty intense rock, but with elements of calm in there, you know?
And I didn't think there would be a better person to go with that's really going to give you the attention and detail you need, but as well as the advice when it comes to him being a multi-instrumentalist. So, you know, if you want to put a drum sample in here, or a guitar sample, or synth, or keys, or, you know, harmonics over the top, he's the guy that's really going to pay your songs respect in that sense.
I was someone who'd never been in that producer or studio environment before, with it being my debut EP, and he was really, really helpful and constructive, but also in a positive way, in helping me understand exactly what we were doing and how we were doing it.
Well, basically what's happened now is that Tom has the demo versions for each track on YouTube, just like he mentioned earlier, just him, a guitar with that microphone, just playing the songs. He then tells me which track we want to focus on. I think we've been doing it in order.
Take away the pain that I'm feeling without you here.
I then bring them into Logic Pro. And what I start doing is I will take his initial track, I will chop it into sections so that I can stretch it and shrink it so that it fits perfectly to a metronome. Once I've got it set to a metronome, first thing I will add is drums. I will think, what rhythm does this song need? So I base it on him playing the guitar. I kind of sit and air drum to myself for a minute, work out what I would do if I was a drummer, you know. Then I put those drums in. After the drums, I will probably add a very simple bass line, usually just root notes over the drums and the guitar, just to keep that rhythm flowing. Then I start going off on the creative process. I'll think, what does this track need? So I'll think, let's add some piano, because piano is always a good one to fill a missing kind of depth that isn't there. And then once I'm done and I've added all of the instruments that I think are necessary, I will then send it over to Tom. Then he'll say, so I'm liking this. I think maybe the drums should do this as opposed to that, and maybe bring down that bit of guitar or swap that guitar for something a bit more exciting. So then, you know, we communicate like that. Those would all be cut, yeah. Which, at the moment, notice me, with the other tracks, I've already kind of produced them before we came to the studio, added your drums, added your bass, guitar, stuff like that. This one, however, hasn't got any of that yet. It's literally just what we did in the studio the other day.
So this will have stuff added to it in the mixing process. Yeah.
So at the moment, it's literally just Tom's acoustic guitar, vocals. I think I recorded some con on there as well.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
What else did we add? Shaker, tambourine, and then tons of vocals. So the idea was, obviously, you had Tom singing his lead vocal here, just going. There's three of them. Like so. And what we really wanted to do was, we really wanted to get a group of people, like a huge crowd of people. But obviously, with current restrictions, that's not really doable. So what we decided to do instead was do it ourselves. Done.
Oh, was that it?
The only thing.
I want to go. Oh yeah.
Alright, do it again then.
You think?
Yeah. Well, no, I think it's fine, but if you want to do it again, then you do it again.
Oh yeah. I'm colourblind. Wait.
I personally think that's fine, but if you want to do it again, you do it again.
Just, you know what? I probably wouldn't be that bothered if it was any other single. It's just because it's this one. Well, yeah, because I want it, because Colourblind's the lead single. Colourblind's the lead single, so I wanted Colourblind to be the best song, and therefore I was very anal about how I pronounced my vocals.
Take a deeper breath before you start. Ready?
Okay. And, you know, Eris would be like, oh no, this is fine, and then I'd be like, no, this isn't good enough, and I wanted everything to be perfect in the studio. I was like, come on, we've got to get this right, I'll keep redoing this, because even if I get like loads of takes more is better than less.
You know, you're going to take, whereas on this one, you're kind of hitting it bang on. It's like, it's sharp. It's on the spot.
It's
you know?
better for timing, but I'm not sure if
It's more in tune. I do. I think this one's better.
We clashed at times and he got pissed off with me in Second Chance as well, but I was butting in again because I was overthinking about a certain vocal. But I just needed him to, that sort of woke me up and been like, fucking hell, I'm overthinking this way too much. I've got bags under my eyes because I'm fucking stressed. Look, see there. Look, I'm not sleeping great because I'm anxious, and I was excited, but I think I know it's because I'm anxious and I'm worried about shit, and the vocals were a weak point, and I realised I was never getting picky over anything apart from the vocals with Eris. But the good thing about Eris is that he understands that I'm being so picky because I want it to be the best it can be. This is probably the most stressed I've been the whole time. Probably because it's coming to an end this week, which means that there's no changing whatever happens now. Whatever happens, that's it. And I've been trying to teach myself over the last few days not to dwell on it. I think it'll be alright, but I think I'll be fully calm when we start getting the mixes back, because that's when I'll know whether the vocals were good or not. I know I've got critics, but it's not about them. It's about me just trying to express myself the best way I can and trying to synthesize whatever I have inside and trying to bring it out musically in the best way possible so that people can enjoy the music, I guess. But I'm just praying that it comes out okay. Because if it comes out okay, then I've done myself proud and my granddad proud.
The fact that he's an accomplished musician as well as obviously an accomplished engineer and an accomplished producer, in the sense that he's always been willing to listen, hasn't he? He's always been. He's never said, "Oh, you're joking, aren't you, Thomas? You know that won't work." He's always said, "Okay, well, yeah, let's make a note of it."
For Second Chance, I think we're going to be alright.
No, because I think I've always thought it was a really good song, and it had a sort of a natural structure to it, and also even before we thought of Light and Shade, Aris stuck that brass bit on the end, didn't he?
Yeah.
Which sort of, we woke up one day and it came through and we thought, shit, what the bloody hell's that?
Literally.
Tom sent it over, and he said about having the sax player on it. So already I thought, okay, so there's going to be some real life brass on this, and I couldn't really pick where to put it, to be completely honest. But then we got to the end, and Tom is kind of going off with the vocal line, and he's kind of doing a ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da. This particular ba-da-da kind of melody is crying out for kind of like staccato brass section. I personally think this sax should have some like fucking, it should be almost psychedelic, like to fit with the feel of the song. Like it definitely needs some kind of echo on it. Like, can you hear that in the mix?
That's 2 times in a row now. Yeah.
It needs
I know what you
all of
mean.
that space on it.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what? I didn't even realise that would happen. We just thought, oh, we're set on goal. But you know what's brilliant is that as you view these tracks, you get a tiny bit of
it was very unexpected too. We didn't plan to put it
Yeah.
there, but Steve, the saxman Steve, came in to record his part,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Well, I'm here. Do you need me for anything else?" And we were like, "Probably not." And then Tom said, "Well, there's that little bit in gold that is a gap that needs something." And we thought, well, we'll go on then. We'll see. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And then I think that was literally the first bit he did.
You told him not to record, didn't you? Was it that one?
Oh yeah, no. He said, "Oh, I'll just do a practice first.
Yeah.
Don't press record yet." So I press record anyway, because I mean,
you have to know.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it could have come out great, and fortunately, I did press record because straight away it was just like, that's the one. Yeah. That's it. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I did press record, and that's what we got.
The whole point of my songs is I want people to feel something. I want people to be able to relate to them and be able to, come back after a show, or they might relate to a song and they might not even tell me, and that just might make their day better. As long as you feel the emotion of the song, it can guide you through. Basically, that's what I want people to feel what I felt through my music, and hope I can help them in some way.
So you have to protect that unique value of your work as well. It's not an easy thing to do, and these songs, they're not dispensable. They're important. They're an important part of your life and your career. So the next stages have to be considered, planned, and prepared, not rushed. There is no hurry.
But I also have to remember it's my first one, and I've got a lot of learning to do, and I don't know where I'm going to be, but I'm going to do my best, and I am never going to give up.
Broken memories, tiny tragedies, lead me back down to loving you. And every time I blink, hesitate to think why I'm still in love with you. 'Cause every time I look away, there's a price I have to pay. 'Cause you are the one I'm thinking about tomorrow, and I need a second chance for you to come and help me follow it beneath your shadow, and help me fall in love with you now, honey. Looking at the sky, screaming, asking why everything happened the way it did. I'm still in love with you, swear my heart's still true. All I wanna do for you. 'Cause every time I look away, there's a price I have to pay. 'Cause you are the one I'm thinking about tomorrow, and I need a second chance for you to come and help me follow it beneath your shadow, and help me fall in love with you now.
Tom is gonna say what Tom is really fucking thinking, and I love that because I know where I stand with you, and that's what and I think that's what makes our interview so fun, because that's how we get on tangents, because it's like we're both honest with where we are and who we are in life.
Yeah.